Hello, hello. Sorry, I'm so late. Oh gosh. It's been 13 minutes. I'm so sorry. Um, yeah, hello, welcome. Tonight's stream. Tonight we're gonna be continuing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last we left off, um, we should hang on. Give me a sec. All right. Oh, sorry, I had to run up here. Okay, last we left off, there was we flashed back to after, to directly after Soseki's, first trial, and he gets admitted into for another crime. This poor dude can't catch a break. And now we gotta defend him again, and hope for the best, oh boy! But that's all I've got. That's all. Okay. Whew, sorry. I'm kind of out of breath. Alright. First things first, though. Next streams. Friday is once again going to be Heaven Will Be Mine. However, again, timing is a little bit iffy. If it doesn't work out, we'll move it to Saturday if we have to. But that's all I've got for this week. Let's jump right in. Whew, here's the cell. I'm so sorry for your loss, Soseki. Where's my controller? Yep, let's continue. Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. Here we go. Yet again. We just started, but I'm gonna take a preemptive sip of water. Water has been sipped. What we got? The Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange. I seem to get chills down my spine and break out in a nervous sweat all at the same time. Well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon. That's my line! Oh, that's Soseki. Yeah, you literally just came here like yesterday. Good morning! Good morning, Mr. Natsume. It was only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here. Yes, we somehow managed to prove you didn't stab Miss Green in the back. But now this! Another morning, another murder! And here I am again in this hellhole! Can't keep coming to court! Yeah, that'd be pretty bad for you, I think. I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid I have bad news. Oh! Mr. Natsume. Good morning. Yes, morning. So, here we are again. Yes, again. Uh-oh. Judicial Assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquires, what's the bad news? Oh dear, you heard, didn't you? If you come in shouting at the top of your voice, people can't help hearing what you say! Oh, I am sorry. You've done nothing wrong, Miss Susato. Now, what is it? Oh. Well, it seems that the prosecution in today's trial— oh, it's Van Zieks! We haven't seen you in a while! He'll be led by Lord Baron Van Zieks. Van Zieks? Oh no! Oh no, no! Oh, this poor guy, dude. The so-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land. In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Soseki-san and I relentlessly. Of course, by the skin of our teeth, we managed to pull through. But still... Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter after all. Yes, I know what you're thinking. The legend of the Reaper that says, nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Van Zieks is the prosecutor. Oh no! And even if that person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end one way or another. And we've experienced it firsthand. The man who successfully defended met the most terrifying end after his acquittal. Right here in the Old Bailey. It's not looking good, Natsume. Do I have to put up with those ice-cold Iceborg into my soul again? Cursed by evil spirits and now the Reaper! Pair of petrifying perils, potentially! Well, if it's potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsume. Yeah, that hope is with us! Lock-up student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire! Yes? I'm innocent! You have to believe me! Yeah, I don't doubt that you're innocent, considering this is like 2 days after your first, like, run-through of this. You, more than anyone, know! Oh, Naruhodo, or not Naruhodo, Soseki! I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle. I promise. And this promise is to be a hard battle, I fear. Alright. Well, the trial is scheduled to begin shortly. We should move into the courtroom. Let's go! Oh yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it. Mr. Sholmes, I mean. Oh, he's gonna force him. He's gonna force his way in one way or another. That's probably for the best. Oh, if he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. And that could be seen as a weakness. If Lord Van Zeeks were to notice, he'd prey on it mercilessly. At least, that's my gut feeling. Mr. Naruhodo. You're right. Yes, you're so right. Oh, well said, locum student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. Well said! Oh, I love you, buddy. I swear on the sword at my side, and on the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lawyer can do! I'll set you free, with honor! We did that last time and it didn't really work out. Doo-doo. Alright. 22nd February, 9:40 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Oh, hello. Yeah, we saw you like 2 days ago, technically. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. Yeah, we seem so much more confident. Readiness for the trial, my Nipponese friend, is not what the defense needs. What you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat. We like, spent 2 seconds in here. Calm down. It's not just my imagination. It's really there. Lord Van Zeeks has such an animosity towards us Japanese for some reason. Yeah, I could have assumed that based on our previous trials. It was some time ago now that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. These past few years, he hasn't appeared in court at all. Yet now he's back in the courtroom, though for some reason, only when I'm defending. This Reaper, with his curious disdain for us Japanese, is the prosecutor shrouded in mystery. You can do it! You can do it! In and out! Still, this isn't the time to be pondering that. I have to concentrate on Soseki-san's trial. Furthermore, I will now call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty? Oh, you're the guy in the first trial. I forgot your name. Absolutely. I had a feeling this larrikin wasn't innocent before. Oh, are you also the same? I feel like I've seen you. I must say that I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat refuses to sit right. Oh, you're the stereoscope guy. Oh, well, I rather like how you're wearing your hat. I think the ruthlessness look is very fetching, actually. Oh, woman! Sorry. I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick. Oh, pretty lady. You're the... Oh, you're the guy that was poking around outside, I think. I couldn't agree more. I need to take home 5 bob tonight, or the missus will go through the roof. Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here and lead his flock to a righteous verdict. The British jury system is so very different to our own, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of judgment is in the hands of 6 members of the public, and that the judge can only pass sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defendant's guilt. Six citizens of London chosen at random, or at least that's the idea. The prosecution would draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been returned for duty today. Oh, all except one. Very well, let us commence the trial. Lord Van Zieks, your opening statement, please. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past decision. However, the innocent verdict afforded to this eccentric Nipponese before has had dire consequences. Did the accused repent for his wrongdoing in that affair? Far from it. Instead, he used his freedom to perpetrate a most blood-curdling crime, namely that of the attempted murder of his neighboring lodger, an innocent Englishman. Okay, you're being a little biased already, jeez. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witness to the stand. The detective responsible for investigating the scene, and the accused himself. Sherlock? Oh, no, never mind, Tobias. I forgot about you. Oh, Soseki, why are you here? Witnesses, your names and occupations, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. Oh, Soseki is okay. Oh, Soseki Natsume from the Empire of Japan. My government ordered me to come here as a student, to study your language and culture. Mr. Natsume? Yes, my lord, sir. I'm quite sure I'm not mistaken. That you swore an oath never to set foot in my courtroom again. I remember it as if it were yesterday because it was. The day before, in fact, my lord. But close enough. Believe me, this is the last place I want to be. Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case for the court. Here we go. Right you are, sir. The incident occurred at the Gerdev household where the defendant has lodgings. In the ground floor of the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare. The defendant has already admitted to visiting the victim on the night in question. Mr. Shamspeare collapsed in his room as a result of poisoning by strychin. He was found at the morning when the landlord, suspecting something was wrong, broke down the door. This means, I presume, that the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident. Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making entry to or exit from the room impossible. No, it wasn't, because one of the windows is broken into. Although the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, lives to tell the tale, he very nearly didn't. The man was halfway to heaven when we first found him. I was the first officer on the scene, my lord. And I have photographic print here that I took at the time to show how it looked. Yes, a chilling scene indeed. The man looks very much deceased. That's right. Everyone present believed that's exactly what he was. Very well. I shall accept this photographic print as evidence for the court. The crime scene photograph! There we go. Now then, Mr. Natsume. Yes? Yes? As the defendant, do you have anything to say at this juncture? They're haunted! Haunted by evil spirits! Good gracious, what's haunted? My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings! The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the streets outside. My neighbor was poisoned. And me! What about me? I've been nearly killed countless times! Killed, Mr. Natsume? How? Even on that fateful night it happened, when I returned from Mr. Shamspeare's room. I lit my glass stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me! You must always extinguish all fires before retiring for the night, Mr. Natsume. But it's so cold! My runny nose would freeze! The point is, I didn't poison my neighbor. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed? Oh, poor guy. Thank you, witnesses. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of events. If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point. Conclusive? Go on. Fortunately, the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, has regained consciousness after his ordeal, and he has named the true culprit. Yeah, when he said it was Natsume, even though I'm pretty sure it wasn't. The poison consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. Are we sure that the tea just didn't get, like, contaminated by the soap? Tea, my lord, that was brought to the victim's room by the accused. The accused? Good grief! Order! Order! Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. If Soseki-san is innocent, then why has the victim accused him? Dare I say it's a locked room mystery? Well, Mr. Natsume, what have you to say to this accusation? That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result! Never will I touch tea again! Never! The public pump was frozen, you say? That's not information we've heard before. That will do, thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense must have the opportunity to cross-examine the witnesses at least once. Therefore, I call upon these witnesses now for a formal testimony. I presume the prosecution has no objection? Yes, please! Let me scrutinize these points. God, you're so extrally animated. None whatsoever, my lord. Good. Then you will oh god, and you will give your account of events on the night in question to the court now. Yeah. Yes, my lord! I love you, Soseki! Witness testimony! The catastrophic night. It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor, and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I headed back to my room at around 11. My tea was completely harmless! He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he? Strychnine takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. Yes, I see. It all seems relatively straightforward. Excuse me, but the testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Mr. Natsume claims his tea to have been harmless, presumably though. The teacups have been examined for traces of the poison, haven't they? Why didn't I think of that? Well, as it happens, no. We haven't been able to at all. Huh? You haven't been able to? Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspect substance? How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done? I learned Nibini's friend is falsely incensed. Huh? The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea, not that it was overlooked. Unable? Why? Oh, because like the tea, we weren't able to check the tea itself. It's simple enough. It was not enough. Not a drop. Someone must have been very thirsty indeed. With current scientific techniques, it is not possible to test for poison under such circumstances. We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough. The lack of examination notwithstanding, it appears nothing other than the tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question. What about the soap? I see. Thank you. The matter is clear. Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You can see it in their faces, I'm sure. The recognition of the accused's guilt. We haven't even done anything, you bitch! Your client's fate is all but sealed. We literally started. Shut up! In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity. He's right. I can feel all 6 of the jurors looking daggers at me. Come on, Ryunosuke! But I can't let them beat me down. I won't. Counsel for the defense. Proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord! Okay. Let's check what we have right now, because I don't remember. It's a handbook receipt. Oh! We still have that. We have, oh, this is where that one woman got stabbed. Here's the pair of teacups. Oh, what about this line? This must be the cup that Mr. Shakespeare was drinking from then. Stand on the inside. Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea. Oh, really? I've never noticed before. Noticed? Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave a mark. I have to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it? Oh dear. So many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture. And most of them are Japanese! Okay, so we know that this is, like, stained. So, there is things there. Turn off end of envelope. Can't really do it. Oh. Oh. Oh, no. There's a powder on the end of this. Didn't even bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they? Yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. Judging from the angle of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed. Huh? How do you just know that? Perhaps someone's been reading too much of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. You never read too much of it, Mr. Naruhodo! Never! No, this looks like there's, like, things on the edge here. And this is a regular bar of soap that has, like, an indentation of some kind. Is it, Mr. Naruhodo? This bar of soap, when we first found it, I could have sworn there was some sort of round disc in this depression just here. A reddish one. Yes, you're right. I remember it too. But now, the depression is completely empty. Where could a disc have gone? Oh! There we go. And of course, the photo, which doesn't have anything too interesting. Except maybe, like, the water that's here. Alright. Around 9 o'clock that evening, when I visited my neighbor, took some tea with me. And a literary debate with a nice hot drink. Around 11, tea is completely harmless. I feel like I should press on this, because that's information that we should know, right? Hold it! How long does it take for symptoms to appear then? According to the coroner I was speaking to at the yard, about 30 minutes after the poison is consumed. And the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping, and stiffness, and eventually dies from asphyxiation. So there's a 30-minute interval between when the poison ingested and the onset of symptoms. But he didn't die, so it couldn't have been that. There seems to be a lot of different types of poison in the world, that's for sure. Oh dear, death by poisoning again. It's always so awful. 30 minutes is a long time. Certainly long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind the accused after he left. You can't deny that. And it further degrades Soseki's alibi. Oh shit! Okay, thanks! I have the medical report from the doctor who examined the victim here, my lord. Spells it out, really. The accused is the only person who could have done it. Very well, the court will add this report to the court record as evidence. Okay, let's look at this real quick. Oh yes, I see it here. Delayed onset of symptoms. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. See, I would like to read it. Toxic effects present 30 minutes after ingestion. Like the. No example could be obtained for testing. Poisoning incident occurred at around 1:30 a.m. on 21st February. Assessed from the victim's pocket watch that appears broken. 3:30 a.m. Something about that time doesn't feel right. Wait, yeah, something about that time doesn't feel right. Great. When did Natsume say... I went back to my room at about 11, so then he collapsed like several hours later, so this can't be the poison. So it couldn't have been this poison. Hey, ding dong, you're wrong! No, silly. I'm just gotta give this back to him. Hey buddy, there's a mistake on your little paper here. The argument still stands, you say? I think not, Inspector. Come again? I think you'll find that you've overlooked a very significant chronological inconsistency here. What? What do you want about? According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11. Ugh! Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there. Ugh. In other words, if there was poison in the tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 full hours after the defendant left? They're both doing the same pose, that's funny. The fence's argument is entirely reasonable. How do you respond, Lord Van Zeeks? Oh, he's calm. Ah, that's foreboding. Pray forgive the discourtesy if my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would best complement the contents of my hollowed chalice this luncheon. He's already contemplating lunch, are you? How it could have happened, you asked? I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Nipponese friend appears to be chasing a phantom idea. Well, maybe you should, like, use your words and talk more than a phantom. Is it so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused had left? For example, at the time stated in the medical report. Yes, at around 1:30. Mr. Natsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there's a well-known saying, drink the tea while it's hot! Objection. And in my country, there is an even more apt saying. There is nothing more refreshing than cold tea. The point is, if there was such a long gap, there might be other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned. Other possibilities! What sort of possibilities, Counsel? Oh, we don't know! We don't have any! Oh, his expression changed! Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor. Another visitor? That's a very bold assertion, my learned friend. From someone who has nothing to substantiate it. Or the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition. Ryunosuke, buddy, you're digging yourself into a hole! You suggest that this may have been a suicide, Counsel. Objection. Mr. Shamsver has categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted. Objection! Ryunosuke! Ryunosuke! But Ryunosuke, this is a bad idea! But he could be lying! Van Zix is like, Yeah, 3 whole text boxes for him to change animations. Is something wrong, Lord Van Zeeks? I was listening to the sound of the carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray, forgive the discourtesy. Carriage? What carriage? It would seem that the key player in this case has just arrived. Oh? Who is it? Out! Out! Oh, it's Shamsphere! Out! Out, brief candle! Life is but a walking shadow! Oh, there he is! Oh, listen to this! He's got accompanying music! A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Oh my god. 'Tis a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Who, sir, are you? William Shamsphere, my lord. Alas, was I undone by these bitter events. I am the victim. What's he doing here? Yeah, I agree. Well, good morning to you. The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With this testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed. My bro, my dude. Sometimes not even the victim has the full picture, buddy. You're calling him as a witness? Very well, counsel. I grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself. Oh, you're fully animated too. Happy am I, Shamsphere, to regale thee with my tale of woe, my lord. What? I still have my own tale to tell! My own tale of worse woe! I can regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence in perfect English! That will do, Mr. Natsume. Let the court now hear from the victim. Oh, why is this guy here? We saw him earlier! Alright, so that's Mr. Shamsphere. Who's that other man beside him? Yes, I feel sure that we've caught a glimpse of that man before. State your names and occupations for the court, please. Witnesses. A writer of words so sweet, they do scent the breeze. An inventor of ideas so profound, they compose the earth. The unrivaled poet, the unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare. For the great bard to be recalled to life anew. Lo, what a magnificent man! Good fellows, I am he who ponders such a miracle, William Shamsphere. Oh, the name's Meter Man. Arden B. Meter Man. Are you like... Are you... Meter Man, huh? That's a pun somewhere. I work for the Altman Gas Company. East End branch office. Oh, you're gas meter. Okay. Ah, I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road. Oh, yes. She's right. It's him. Yeah, it is that guy. Oh, what's this? What's that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's lodgings. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Excuse me. Could we have a word? Oh, yep. Off he goes. Striking that same pose. Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Garadeb's house that morning. And he's a gas company employee? What does he have to do with this case? So, Mr. William Shamsphere, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Oh heaven! Oh hell! Do you command me to remember? That sweet poison didst cross to me and cross mine innocent lips! I summoned him for the trial, with his doctor's permission, naturally. Hearing the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure. Behold, you have only to rearrange the letters of my name to see that me is a seraph, an angel indeed. Thus be I noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart, all as all heavenly angels be. Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name. No, not at all. The traders seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. Oh, they're all entranced! They're actually taking the seraph idea seriously? Thank you, witnesses, for your illuminating introductions. But my lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shakespeare doing here? The gas man, I mean. What? Me? Well now. Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence? When you suggested that the victim had another visitor to his room on the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar. What? No, I didn't quite say that. This young chin-stroker is here to convert your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Meter Man? Hang on, no. I'm just here... I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You will tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question. Oh, he's got his own... One may smile and be a villain! Yes, it doth pain me, but I let the truth be spoken. The truth of that wintry night on my discontent. He do be chin-stroking, though. Alright. The wintry night of my discontent. Can I see who the people on the jury are? Yeah, Shakespeare. No, I can't. The snow lay about. My neighbour did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But merry bitter was his drink, and when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. 'Twas the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, naught else. I was outside this block's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room. No one else visited his room but that short little round-backed eastern fella. Huh. Uh-oh. Wait, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shakespeare's room all night? Yeah, that's right. Of course, the bloke's window is all but blocked up, isn't it? But there's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room. So I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as I peered in through that. Why? The question is, sir, why? Well now. That's because he's on my list. Your list? What a piece of work is a man! Wherefore wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? What are you talking about? This buzzing busybody hath not a part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed. Make no more ado about his tedious words. What'd you say about me? Oh, he's a busy bee! Because, oh... Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more? Oh, I thought he was gonna say nothing more, nothing less. Indeed, that is so. And, as the testimony we have just clearly heard reveals, there was no one other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out this crime. I doubt that. I doubt that. Uh-oh, come on, guys. I doubt that. Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. No, it won't! Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Alright. Snarly about, my neighbor did cometh in the evening bearing a gift of tea. But merry bitter was his drink, and when he left I did fall prostrate on my table. 'Twas the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, not else. I was outside this book's window. Okay, so why were you? Why were you? I gotta know! But the windows of that house have all been filled in. A historical artifact of the now defunct window tax. Yeah, you're right there. All bricked up horribly. But as it happens, there's a little part of the brickwork at the bottom corner that's been opened up. But why were you watching? I was looking through the end of that gap. Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there? And for some strange reason, a couple of bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside of the swell. I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on freezing cold nights. That's my orders, so that's what I'll keep doing. As long as there's a breath in my body. Huh? You were ordered? What's with all the theatricals today? Out of interest, Mr. Meterman, after the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings, did you see the victim leave the room at all? No! He never left! He was in that room the whole time, as far as I'm concerned. And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide. How can you be so sure of that? The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. And since we know the victim didn't leave his room, and hence didn't dispose of the poison's container himself, it's clear that this was no attempt at suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the receptacle. Ah, yes. Lucidly explained, Counsel. Thank you. It really was. You can't argue with that logic. Short little round-backed Eastern fella. So that's the entire testimony. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I can't see any obvious holes at all, to be honest. No. Oh dear. If nobody else visited Mr. Shamsphere's room that night apart from Mr. Natsume, I imagine the members of the jury will all conclude the same thing. Oh, okay. This is one of the press everything until the jurors are like, alright, he's guilty. Let's go with it. Right. That he's guilty. Well, all we can do is press these witnesses for more information and hope for a breakthrough. Yes! Alright, that's what's going on. Alright. Speak!
Hold it!
Oh, excuse me. Alright, I might just skim these just to save my throat. I know it's only like an hour in, but my throat can only handle so much. Water has been redrunken. Alright. I'm just gonna skim these just to spare my throat. I'm gonna read Shakespeare's lines though. These look fun to speak out. Indeed, sire, perchance wouldst thou that I call him the call him the man from upstairs. The mustachioed Nipponese visit you in that room. Our meeting was promised for the hour of 9, and lo did he come to tender a gift of fragrant tea. And its own testimony, yes. And we were embroiled in such a literary debate as history hath not seen before. By which I presume he means their discussion about who was the stronger Romeo or Juliet. I, Shakespeare, did play the part of young Romeo, whilst my neighbour played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as would our characters be, to bring weight upon our merry experiment. I dare not imagine the scene. Yeah! Guilty. My name is Woman! Canst thou imagine how dismayed I was? Yes, I had heard of the Eastern art of jujitsu, but ne'er did I dream would be a skill practiced by the commonly maiden. Juliet beat Romeo up? That's not helping our case. I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. As you reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought to your room. My liege, I am thy servant. Gladly I would do with thy bidding. This guy is so actually animated. I love him. Alright. Let me stop you there. I'm at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That amounts to more than 3 hours of missing time. The defendant had really put the poison into your tea. That 3-hour window of time is something you're going to have to explain. Gladly. 'Tis an easy task. What? I did drink tea. Drink the tea. Not while my guest did his tarry, but after he took leave of me. Faith, 'twas stone cold, but at 1 hour past midnight, verily were my lips parched.
Objection!
That doesn't sound normal. Nay, 'tis quite ordinary, sire, after all. Thou wouldst recall our fiery debate. Amidst such argument, there'd be no time for fiery tea. Romeo and Juliet again. Didn't know who was stronger. Shakespeare, summary, allow me to confirm. Did not come here with the intent of naming your attacker. But of course, my liege, 'twas the stooped lover of words that attempt to shuffle me off this mortal coil. Ugh, we all know what that means. Okay, Silo, nothing else. What about the bar of soap? So, you didn't have any kind of evening meal? Dinner? Supper? Huh. Fie on luxury, fie on gluttony! To eat thrice a day is but a waste of time! Sorry? I would that my belly were full. No, oh, what is he doing? The sun doth rise. Most heroic eating habits, but I must say. Night and day do I from thy hours with learned study of the great bard and playwright. Hence it is that there doth not in my chamber be the costumes of mine art. Case is even a rodent with some starved to death. Oh! I think of it. It's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single player script anywhere. For I have devoured. Oh, he ate. Oh, he ate them. You've eaten them? Every word be within my skull. Didst thou imagine otherwise? Right. That wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, do you think? Which brings us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed the victim's lips was in the tea. Yep, I got you. Okay, we pressed this. I didn't press this. Short, little, round-backed Eastern fella. So you can't be sure it was the defendant then.
Objection!
How many other short, little, round-backed Japanese with a mustache do you think there are in London? Well, of course, it's like a narrow gap, and it was quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. But he showed up at around 9, so I'm pretty sure of myself. The person you saw arrive, did he and Mr. Shamsford drink tea together? Sorry. Couldn't say. Why not? Because. Couldn't see into the room all that well, could I? Well, what I did see was the silhouette of that little round-backed fellow wearing a pretty dress. Oh, they did cosplay! A wrestling match, I tell you, I don't know what to make of it! They did fight each other! Huh. Thought the Romeo and Juliet championship battle was getting underway! I guess it was! Mr. Meterman, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited the victim? Yep. Yep. Alright, and here comes the jury! My lord? Goodness me! Yes, Mr. Foreman? I haven't given my mouth shut and listened up to now, but this has gone long enough. Are you all with me? Yep, they're all going. Excuse me. Are we to understand that you ladies and gentlemen of the jury are in agreement with one another? That you've reached a unanimous decision? Too right we have! Are you all with me? Yes! Wait, no! The defense is in the middle of a cross-examination! To be honest, I was holding out a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified those few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room.
Yes, the 3 missing hours, as you put it.
But in the end, what difference do they make? None as far as I can see. She's pretty. And as that's now apparent, there's really no reason to delay our decision any longer. Like I was saying before, if I don't take 5 bob home with me tonight, the missus will blow her top! What's that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said. Okay. Well, here we go. Very well. Let the court be appraised of your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty!
Alright.
Guilty.
Alright.
Guilty!
Alright.
Guilty.
Alright.
Guilty. Guilty.
Yep, thank you. Alright, we gotta do a summation, it looks like. That's an immediate donk. All of you? Well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous. Alright, we gotta... Alright. So, this time at least, it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. No, we got a summation examination! This calls for a toast, I feel. To the guilty being punished. Ugh. Hold it! Susato! Get up, Mr. Naruhodo, please! The trial isn't over yet! What do you mean, Miss Susato? What about the information I found in this encyclopedia of British law I have? That obscure right that belongs to the defense in these situations. Remember? Yep, summation examination! Let us have it! Summation examination. Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. But here in British court of law, if we can reverse the decisions of a majority of the jurors, we can force the trial to continue. This trial can't end now. Whatever it takes, I just can't let that happen. The defense moves to invoke its right to a summation examination, my lord. Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese's friend inability to admit defeat? You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth. More like it's you who's convoluting it. Certainly no other defense counselor in recent times has exercised their right to a summation examination. Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered. Nevertheless, their right remains and must be upheld. The defense counsel's request is granted. This court will proceed with a summation examination, as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law. Thank you, my lord! Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Believe me, my lord, we know all about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it! Very well. In the case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. Alright, what you guys got? Judicial findings! Contentions, you're right. The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man. Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very fishy. Alright, buddy, why don't you stop that? There's no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a fraudsman. For now, at least. I really don't care, I just need this trial to end quickly. 3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know. Nothing at all. A lot can happen in 3 hours, you know. Alright, I knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced. It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shamspeare is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen. If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume has said appears to have registered at all. Well, here goes! Let's not forget. I pleaded with the jury on Soseki-san's behalf before, and it worked. So you never know! Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how a summation examination works, Mr. Naruhodo. No, we're fine. Oh. Well, you're still very new to British law, after all. That's true, I suppose. And Soseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now, too. There's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. Perhaps I should hear Susato-san out. I wonder, should I let her talk me through it again? Or not bother? No need, we're all good! Thank you for the kind offer, Mr. Susato. But I've been through plenty of these summation examinations already now. I think it's important that we don't delay the start any longer than necessary. Of course, I understand. And I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you like. I'll be here for you. The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement. Finding two that are contradictory and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other. Without further ado, please counsel proceed with summation examination. Okay, so we have to flip the idea that Shamspear is trustworthy. Yes, my lord! Doon doon. Hello! Alright, victim may not be well off, but he's a nobleman and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man. The gentleman has no reason to lie. How about, let's ask you first. Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Can some of them also be liars? I've no doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example. Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume is no liar. Look, the point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was that Japanese man's tea. When you take the gas man's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer. Well, that's alarmingly logical. But let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman with a gentleman's values. If it turns out that the old Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all, I'd gladly change my decision about the defendant. Oh, okay, we gotta prove... Okay. I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same. Isn't that right? Well, yes, perhaps. Though I don't see it happening. Huh? What's that? Elderly gent on the end here, you know? You'll have to speak up. Look, I really don't care about all this nonsense. I need this trial to be over. How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury, then? Alright. Alright, sir. I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you said. Oh, that was necessary. If you can show me that the victim's a liar, I'll reconsider my position. I feel like, for now at least, let's ask you. A fraudsman? What do you mean by that, madame? It really is a most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can be absolutely certain that a customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence. We can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued. Oh. Oh, someone's stealing gas, and is it Shamspear? I'm sorry, you've lost me a little there. Who are you? I'm the wife of Augustus Almond, owner of the Almond Gas Company. Good gracious! Almond Gas, you say? Gas is the future of energy in this country and around the globe, but proper handling is essential. As I'm sure an employee from the East End branch office would be the first to agree. Oh, absolutely, Lady Quinby! Gotta be used properly! Almond Gas is the best in the world, of course! Ah! Her name is Queen Bee, and this guy is a worker bee for her. Oh, and he has little he's dressed in yellow, and he has like a little what's it? He has a little his scarf thing makes wings. Ah, I think we may have solved the mystery of the bow from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, he bowed in deference to his employer's wife, did he? Ah, so would I be right in assuming the reason Mr. Meterman was watching what Mr. Shamster was up to in his room? I'm afraid that there's no end to the lengths the population of the far East End will go in order to steal our gas. So I really have no choice when the company identifies someone as a possible fraudsman, but to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night. So we're very thorough in our investigations. So you mean Mr. Shamster is... I wouldn't come out and say it in public. But can you finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief? Oh, she's totally a queen bee. Oh my god. Hang on, I need to take another sip. My mouth is dry. Alright, just had to take a quick sip real quick. You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you? The eye of a man hath not heard, the ear of a man hath not seen. Faith, wouldst thou wound me with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin? But serfs hear not insults, only choirs of angels in song. We may not have evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around you until they find it. Oh my god, she really is leaning into the queen bee thing, huh? Hang on. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in an element gas explosion. So Mr. Shamspear has been stealing gas. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement. My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping the thief apart you enjoyed? A little before that part about abject violence, if that's not too much trouble. Yes, of course. This could be it. This could shift the balance. Alright. The victim puts on a fine performance when in reality he's a common thief of my company's gas. It has to be her and number 1. No reason to lie. Well, he's not really lying per se. He's just admitting it.
Objection.
It's probably these two. These two statements are clearly contradict each other. Goodness gracious. Juror number 1. Huh? What are you yelling about, lad? I presume you've heard juror number 4's statement, made by the wife of the owner of Almond Gas. Well, yes. The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact turns out to be a common thief. So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard him say as much. It's true. We don't have any evidence as such. Just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know. What? You heard me. Seeing as his operation has already been compromised, I would suggest that the court hears testimony from our East End branch office employee over there. Oh! I'll do whatever you say, my lady! Gosh, the hands on her! Alright. Juror number 1. You say you're a man of your word. If I could show that Mr. Shamspear was a liar, you'd assure me. Now you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. Alright, come on, buddy. Yes, I did say that. And as a man of honor, I'll hold to it. As I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will. Me? Oh, well, yes. Now that we've found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further. Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've all been saying. So if this means you'll recap a few points that would send me down to the ground, thanks, juror number 6. Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial over and done with. In that case, I shall change my leading. So, Mr. William Shamspear, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are. Alright. That's good enough to continue the trial. That's 4 jurors. 4 if we're not guilty. Yes, Mr. Nodohodo? Victory! Hell yeah! Take that, Van Zeeks! Order! Order! Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of the defendant's summation examination, the jury's leaning has changed. Now only 2 jurors say guilty, whilst 4 say not guilty. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of disaccord, and order the trial to continue. Let's go! You have spoiled the bouquet, Mr. Shamspear. Uh-oh, you've been stealing gas. The ladies and the gentlemen of the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim. Uh-oh, Shamspear. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me. I do swear. This gasman speaketh that which concerns him most, naught but gas, naught but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright a while, but it hath no substance, and it doth reek foul. Oi, what do you say? Do I take it, Mr. Shamspear, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Most heartedly, my lord. Hast thou forgot? I am as a seraph, an angel, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily, honest of heart. Ah, you flowery-mouthed pompous beanhole! Just because I haven't got the evidence yet. Mr. Shamspear! If, in fact, you are not noble of mind, sweetest of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. It is my considered opinion that at the present time no other possible culprits of this crime have been identified. All testimony heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case. Uh-oh. Oh no. However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further.
Objection!
Eat shit, Van Zeeks! I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas in this case are unrelated. Juror number 4! Yes? Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? That's right, we do. Don't we, worker? Absolutely, Lady Quinby! Gasman's honor! Very well then, we will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shamspear, has been stealing gas. Yes, my lord, it'll be my pleasure. If I may, my lord. Go ahead, madame. This worker's testimony may have significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him, in a supervisory role, if you don't mind. Woohoo! Oh yeah, sweet as honey! Very well. As an exception, I shall honor your request. Oh, she's so pretty. Thank you, my lord. You wait till the boss gives you an earful! Oh, it's gonna sting you, mark my words! So, you will both testify before the court on the subjects of the illegal consumption of the Element Gas Company's fuel. Yes. Is that clear, my good man? Clear as element gas, my lady! Which is the clearest in the world! Look at this guy! Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Mrs. Otto? I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo. Boom. Okay, the Element Gas Company's investigation. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collecting agent. Okay, so your name isn't Meter Man for nothing. Element gas meters accept through penny bits. Each coin given customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet the meter at Mr. Shamspear's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collecting agent has the only key. Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is? Is he? Oh, with the soap. Is he making like copies of the thing? Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hollow chalice. What do you mean by that remark, Luke Van Zeeks? Did the mustachio Japanese poison the gangling excuse for an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should concern this court. And yet, now we must listen to this abhorrence. Now, come on now. Clearly, what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance. Buddy, calm down here. Alright. But this could turn out to be a crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. Do what you will.
Lord Van Zeeks
Appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does, yeah. An attempted poisoning and an incident of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance, but I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places, and the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. Alright, who are you, really? Investigation. Proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collecting agent. On the gas meters accept company bits, each coin. This gas. And the meter in Chancellor's room didn't have a single coin in it. Let me ask you about it. Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks! He's been pinching gas off of us for ages! And you've examined the meter in Mr. Chancellor's room, I take it? Naturally. We took it off the wall and went over it with a fine tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shamsphere Special! That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces. But even after all that, the rascal's meter was still completely empty. I'll never forget the humiliation when I opened up the money box and found it bare. You what? I said, you what? And the look on his face, the smarmy smile of his. Huh. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of it being jemmied open anywhere. Not a single sign. And what's happened to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. A life-threatening situation, in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter? Nothing became of it. I've still got it. Oh, you have it on you? Oh. Oh, can we look at it? Right here. No wonder they call you the meter man. No wonder they call you meter man. I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing. Oh, thank you. Developed specially with Mr. Shamsphere in mind. Alright, let me look at this. Let me look at this. Let me look at it. Do you have a key? Can we open this? Oh. Oh, there's a hole under here. Yeah, there doesn't appear to be anything else, but there's a hole under here. Oh, what? Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo? Just here. There's a little hole. Do you see it? Goodness, you're right! I wouldn't have noticed. It's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. Not professionally made. Yeah, by Shamsphere. What is he putting in there? Possibly. It seems that people at Element Gas must have missed it. Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through there. Oh, wasn't there the photo? It had water underneath. I was wondering what the water was. Is he freezing? Is he making like copies of coins and freezing them? Freezing with water? And then like he collects the water and then he just keeps like pouring water in there to cheat the company. That's probably it, right? That's true. But even so, it seems a little more than suspicious. I don't know how to prove that though. How would I prove that? The attached coin is unlocked and there's a tiny hole in the base. Okay, well that was the amendment, so I assume there's nothing else I can get off of that. Oops, couldn't find anything out of the plate. Yeah, oops, that's my bad. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it has as much value as the contents of that meter. Oh! Okay, the meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with though, and the collection agent has the only key.
Hold it!
Oh, I probably should have presented with that, I think. There's only one key for all your meters? Well, in truth, there's another key in the company vault at our main office. But even if someone had somehow managed to get a hold of a key, we'd know if the coin box had been opened. Oh, how?
I came up with a rather clever way to expose any little shenanigans that has happened.
Would you care to explain? I assume that's a company secret. Well now, in order to empty a meter, you'd have to unlock the padlock and remove the cover. When I close the cover again, I stick a little beeswax seal on it, you see? They're really leaning into the bee theme, huh? Seal? Like the sort of thing you put on an envelope, you mean? Something like that, yes. Basically, you can't remove the cover again without breaking the seal.
Now, in the case of Mr. Shamspeare's meter, there were no coins inside at all, as I said.
But the seal hadn't been broken either. So that would mean Mr. Shamspeare somehow managed to steal coins from inside the meter without opening it. What was that? The slow turn? Naruhodo?
It would seem so, but that would be impossible.
Okay, hang on. I should press it. Yeah, hang on, I gotta present. No, it's been tampered with, my lady. Oh god. Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with.
What?
Get away! I've been over and over that thing! I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it! Did you guys somehow miss the hole that's underneath it? In that case, what do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Hole? What?
You're right! You're quite right! There's a little hole there.
The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamspeare secretly opened up this hole himself.
Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why?
Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You can get farther through that. Wait, what? Get up farther through that. Lady Altamont, I would wonder if you could give the course some more details about your meter design.
What sort of details?
Well, what I'd specifically like to know is how it differentiates coins. Okay, this is how we go. Oh, he froze water. He froze water. How does the meter tell the difference between different coins?
What do you mean?
Well, for example, if someone were to put 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work presumably, would it?
No, of course not.
So, well, how does the meter know that the coin it's been fed is a thrup penny bit?
Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shapes and size, which includes their thickness. A thrup penny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit.
Ah, I see. It's been clearly very well thought out. The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent. Oh, the judge is doing it this time.
As you wish, my lord.
She's pretty. Meter is designed for coins the exact diameter and thickness of a thrup penny bit. Nothing else will fit. So how do I just present this? Cause there is did they say how thick this was? Look at the bar of soap. That's circular depression on the side, about 2 centimeters across. 3/4 of an inch. There it is. We defined the soap at the scene, didn't we? Yes. There were 2 bars, and on that little ledge just outside the window. Look at this one, but I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember it clearly. No sign of it now. Where could it have gone? Oh, they updated it! Yeah, it's a good thing I checked, otherwise I would have just presented those. There's a 2 centimeter diameter circular depression in the middle of one surface. Alright, and then did we just present this? Whoops. Let's present this, I assume. Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a thrup penny bit. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shamspeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the same size as a threepenny bit? What was it? The item in question is this. Ryunosuke, you gotta flip it over. You've been inhaling gas? That's a bar of soap! It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say. Looks like I'm going to have to point out exactly what I mean here. Okay, let me flip it over. Is this part here? Right here. Got it! You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Ah! Are you referencing to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? That's right. A depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit. Get away! Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen! Yeah, let me present to you this bar of soap! Yeah, Shamsir definitely didn't eat the soap. It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it? Ooh. Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a threepenny bit. Now, to see if it fits... Does it fit? Oh, it does! Oh, Shamspeare! You've been stealing gas! My word, it couldn't be more snug! Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Element Gas Company is being defrauded. Well, I don't believe it! Oh my god, you're literally dressed in stripes and you have like a little, thing that could look like its wings. So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas. Yes! The depression in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit. I must concur, at least, that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape. And then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You can make fake coins in no time! Yeah, he froze water because there was water in the photo underneath the gas box. This brings all of the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method Mr. Shamspeare has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. This isn't the trial to find out whether or not he's stealing gas, though. It's the trial to determine whether or not Soseki tried to poison him. And now, if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation of what happened in that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear... shut up for a sec, Van Zeeks. We're cooking. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There is one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air, yes. Exactly. And the meter here gives it away. What on earth? Yeah, it's water! He's been freezing water! There are remnants of the magical method used visible on the gas meter taken from the victim's room. If that is our assertion, Counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. Where on the meter can the remnants of the method used to make the fake coins disappear be seen? The remnants? Like, it's just the hole, right? Like, he's been using water. We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found the soap. Oh, you put it outside to freeze the water! Ah, I get it! That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Did you say ice? Mr. Shamspeare has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning.
Then, he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts, turning back into water and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing out someone's gas. Well, we caught your guy! Just like that. So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us all with some bars of soap and some water? Yep, he has. That's right, madame. I don't believe it. It can't be true. Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless? Oh, we gotta prove it to her. The photograph has water, ma'am. I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence! Sorry? I want evidence! If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof! She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? Let's go, Ryunosuke! Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll prove it. What? Oh, we do? Yeah, we do. Mr. Naruhodo, are you saying you do actually have evidence to support this theory? We do! It's in the photo! Right here, I'll show you right now. Right here, there's water. I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. Well, yeah, I can't believe it bothered me too. I saw the water there and I was like, huh, that's not supposed to be there. Excuse me. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. A piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about how... Oh, come on, give me the photo. Right here. Take that! This is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. And it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamspear. What remnants? The water! Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamspear's room. Now, look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. Right there! There's some water! What is that? Some kind of grubby stain. Almost certainly, it's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole and made in the meter. Ah! If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, and the occupant was heating his room in all his waking hours, we can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful! And there's further evidence too. Where? Mr. Shamspear is slumped over his table, apparently having consumed Stitcherin. And right here, there next to him, is a bar of soap broken in half. You're right. It would appear to me then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he? No! Well, actually, we don't actually know if he was eating the soap. Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but... certainly not. He didn't beat around the bush there, did he? In truth, Mr. Shamspear was found with a fork in his hand. A meal of soap is sounding... Oh, shit! Do you mean to say he was using that fork to... Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap. Ah! But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well. Good gracious! They're both dressed like bees. That whole ass bottle into the gallery? That soap looked like it had bite marks to them. Yeah, it did, honestly. I doubted it at first, but honestly, it looks like he could have eaten it. Lord Van Zeeks! I was throwing my hand up in despair, and happened to catch my hollowed bottle on the way. Pray forgive my maladroit mistake. What is the meaning of this, Counsel? Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? That the poison could have been in the soap and not the I don't know. Well?
that Mr. William Shakespeare is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. That's it! That's exactly it! Ryunosuke, there's other things we learned from this too. That, like, if the taps are frozen over, then he couldn't have used the water to make the thing. And judging by the, and also we learned that there's a tea stain here, which means he left the tea out. So he probably used the tea to create the to create the shit. Very well. Let us assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well, we know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. Come on, guys! Don't do this! And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gasman's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Element! Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Oh, jurors! Even if William Shakespeare is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. No, there is! He definitely used the tea as a substitute! Ugh. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate education. You... No! You cannot do that! The soap! Can we raise it? Can we, like... Come on, game. Cut in. Well, counsel, how does the defense respond? Mr. Naruhodo! What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? It did, Naruhodo! Or did it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Zeeks is saying? Raise an objection! There's a possibility! No, this isn't over. The defense will not rest. What? But counsel, you successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrumptious method employed by Mr. Shakespeare to consume gas. What more is there to discuss? Van Zeeks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. To the contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption, made due to a lack of evidence. Oh, we caught him! Yeah, I think he didn't mean to drink the tea at all. He meant to use the tea in order to create a fake coin. But the situation has changed now following the cross-examination of the latest witnesses to take the stand. Don't be absurd! What is this nonsense? Yes, when you bring everything we've learned so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider. Namely, was the poison in the tea? There could be traces of it in the soap. We've all been led to believe that the citron poison that afflicted Mr. Shakespeare was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume. But that's conjecture at best.
Objection!
The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. Well, I mean, there's no other possibility. And since there was no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of poison.
Objection!
As I said, the situation has changed, because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene, and a particular piece of evidence proves it.
Objection!
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated this screen exhaustively, but you didn't examine these bars of soap, didn't you? What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene could... it's the soap! It's the soap! It's always been the soap!
Take that!
No, the super weird thing about their case! Good gracious! The soap again? The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice? Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar.
So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice. There was something strange about them, you mean? Yeah, they were red. Yeah, it all leads back to the soap! It's always been the soap! Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red? It was made from the tea! No. You mean... It was made from the tea! That's right. It's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from the frozen tea! Yeah, I got your ass! What? I would remind the court of a statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial. Good evening, yes. I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shakespeare's room as a gift. The public pump water outside always freezes at night, so I brought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result! Never will I touch tea again! Never! Ah, yes. I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing. So on the night in question, Mr. Shakespeare, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins. My word. Yep. There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed one of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime. Frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shakespeare's window. Oh, we gotta catch the soap before it melts! Extraordinary. Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that even if 1 drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has until now been mere conjecture. By finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contains sticherin at all. Hell yeah! Oh, you smug Nipponese! My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once, and the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it, to determine whether or not it contains any poison. Yeah, that's why our bar of soap is empty. It's because it melted. Oh yeah! Bailiff, instruct the police to attend the scene at once. Yes, my lord, understood. It all leads all back to the bar of soap. It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zeeks? None, my lord. Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. The trial will resume in the same hour tomorrow. The prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim. Yes, my lord! We did it! Yay! Soseki is safe for now! Yeah, breathe in and out. Yunosuke, you deserve it. Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow. Let's go! The soap was suspicious. To be continued. Okay, I think this is a good place to stop for now. My throat is dying. Alright. We're going to save investigation part 3. Alright. Oh, this must be before we established our legal consultancy, except there isn't even a desk here. Alright. Kinda late at night. I wasn't kidding when I said shorter streams this week because whew, my throat is lacking water. Oh god, excuse me. Thank you guys for stopping by. I already saved, I don't need to save. If you'd like, come join the Discord server. We have fun here, I swear.
If you want to see my art or other people's art, come look at my Blue Sky and my Tumblr. My Twitter is completely dead, and I'm actually thinking of deactivating it because of some certain things that are being announced on Twitter. But besides that, streams for Friday. Again, Friday, iffy stream timing, but we're gonna be going through Heaven Will Be Mine yet again. Yeah, thank you for popping up with the Discord link, Prati. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. But that's all I've got for you guys tonight. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Have a good night. Oh, also check out the bot channel. I don't think I said that. Check out the bot channel. That's all I've got for tonight. Bye bye. My throat is dying.